Well, hello fellow crocheters and students, and welcome again to Blue Jay Cottage Crochet. And here we are to, I believe it's lesson 2. It is the lesson where we're going to work on the slip stitch and making a chain. Technically it would be lesson 1, but we made lesson 1 being about learning about the crochet hook. So I believe, like I said, we made this lesson 2. So in this lesson, like I said, first thing we're going to learn is the slip stitch. And I have my own little trick on doing the slip stitch that I have found the easiest way to do it. A lot of people would have you, I'll show you this way also, do where you wrap it around your finger, pull it through. I just find this really hard to do. Pull it through and then make the knot and then start your chain like this. That's fine, and that's a good way to do it, and everyone's going to find their preference like we do with everything with crochet. My way to do the slip stitch, and again, I've been crocheting for over 30 years, so maybe it's just over time I found this an easy way to do it, but this is what I do. I take my crochet hook, I twist it around, then I grab it, I pinch it with my 2 fingers here. I hope you can see this okay in the video. And then I pull through like this, pull down on my yarn, and make my knot. And that is going to be your slip stitch. And you can pull it down tight like this. And you'll see when we start making our chain that that's going to be where you're going to be pulling through to make your first chain. I'll do that again. Get everybody used to it. Of course, you can rewind the video and watch it again and again also, but so here's your ball of yarn. Here's your yarn. Pull it over your finger. You're always going to crochet like this too. You're going to pull it under these fingers, over your pointy finger. You're always going to be holding your yarn in between your middle finger and your thumb. So wrap it around your hook like that. Do it again, just so we can go over this and over this. So you're going to pinch it like that, stick your crochet hook up like this, twist it around, pinch your yarn right here. Can everybody see that? Then you're going to bring your crochet hook up like this, pull it through, and then grab your yarn here and pull it tight so it makes a knot. I just find that the easiest way to make a slip stitch. And then, like I said, you can grab your yarn here, and pull it tight. You don't want it too tight because remember, we're going to be working here on our working area, and we want it about the size of your crochet hook so it slips up and down. And you'll see why later as we go. So while you're crocheting, you're always going to be grabbing this part here with your thumb and your middle finger while you're crocheting. And remember, we talked about when we're holding our crochet hook, the way we're going to be doing it in these videos is holding it like a pencil. So with our left hand, if we're right-handers, and I'm actually ambidextrous, but for crocheting I use my right hand. So we will be doing right-handed videos. So we're going to hold our crochet hook in our right hand, holding it like a pencil with our left hand. We'll be holding our yarn like this. Whoops, sorry. And so for making our chain, you yarn over. You'll be holding where you made your slip stitch right here on the knot with your thumb and your middle finger. Yarn over, pull that yarn through that slip stitch and you've made your first chain. And you can pull your thumb and finger up again, hold on to that, yarn over, pull through that chain you just made, and you've made your second chain. Now you'll probably notice in this video, like I mentioned in the previous video, that I'm using a larger crochet hook. You can use any size crochet hook you'd like. I'm doing this for the purpose of the video so that it's easy for you all to see. I'm also using white yarn for the same reason. It makes it easier for the video to see. So I'm going to continue showing you how to make a chain. I've made 2 now. What I want you all to do is when you first start crocheting, you're going to notice that your chains are going to probably be all uneven. You'll have some larger and some smaller. And I'm going to want you to keep practicing and practicing and practicing until your chains are all even. Because your chain is always going to be your base for anything you make for crochet. And it's going to be really important that your chains are even. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep practicing. But you will always go back and pinch with your thumb and your middle finger. Go back, yarn over, pull through into your previous chain. And you have another chain. Grab up, yarn over, pull through. And as you see, I'm not pulling it tight. The crochet hook is doing all the work for you. So as long as you're pulling it up into the working area, like we talked about before in the previous video, you're not working here, you're working up here. So we've got our chain up here. We've grabbed it with our thumb and our middle finger. We yarn over. Our chain slips up here. We pull through. And we have our next chain. Yarn over, pull through. We have our next chain. But do you see as we slip down, it's actually made here in our working area. So yarn over, pull through, we have our next chain. Yarn over, pull through, we have our next chain. And it should start looking something like this. Again, mine looks loose because I'm using a very large hook. Can you see that there? If you're using a smaller hook, your chains are going to look tighter. If you're using a larger hook, they're going to look looser like mine do. So again, yarn over, pull through, another chain, yarn over, pull through, you have another chain. Yarn over, pull through, you have another chain. And the whole time, your thumb and your middle finger on your left hand should be going up and grabbing the stitch you just made. And this way, it keeps your tension tight. So yarn over, pull through, you have another chain. Grab your stitch with your thumb and your middle finger, yarn over, and in any pattern you're reading, any video you're ever watching, that's what they're going to call it, is yarn over. That's simply grabbing that yarn that's around your pointy finger here, yarn over, pull through. And you'll see my yarn is here. My yarn comes up over these 3 fingers, around my pointy finger, and that's where we pull our yarn over, through, we have our next chain. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to start from the beginning again, just to make sure it makes sense for everybody. Okay, so here's our ball of yarn. We're going to pull the yarn up over my 3 fingers, around my pointy finger. We're going to take the crochet hook to make our slip stitch, wrap it around, grab the bottom with our other hand, pinch it here, just like we would when we're making our chain. Yarn over like when we're making our chain, pull it through. This is how I make my slip stitch. Pull it tight. And now I have my slip stitch. Everybody see how I did that? I can pull it tight, the other yarn. Now again, we're going to wrap it around my hand. Hold it here. You will always do this while you're making any stitch you ever make. You're going to grab it back up with your thumb and your middle finger. Okay? Going to yarn over, pull it through. You have your first chain. Grab it back up with your thumb and middle finger. Yarn over, pull through. You have your next chain. Grab it up again with grab your chain that you just made with your thumb and middle finger. Yarn over, pull through. You have your next chain. Sometimes you won't be grabbing every single chain with your thumb and your middle finger. It might be every 2 chains. It might be every 3. It just depends on the size of your chains and how comfortable you feel with needing to pull up the tension. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. You'll get faster and faster at this as you go. At first I want you to work slow though, because I want you to work on getting these chains to be even, the same size. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Remember to be grabbing the end with your chain with your thumb and your middle finger. Keep that tension. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. And I want you to just keep on working on this chain. I don't care how long it gets until your chains are even and all look the same size and the same tension. Because when we go on to our next lessons and our next videos, we're going to be working into this chain with our other stitches. So it's going to be really important. And you're also, let me move this ball of yarn over so you can see. You're going to notice your yarns might start getting tight. I use my hand like this to pull up my yarn. Pull my hook over here. And you can pull up a little bit of extra yarn if you need to. Put your yarn back over there. Then always remember to bring your yarn back over your 3 fingers, over your pointy finger, and go back to crocheting. Yarn over, pull through, another chain. Yarn over, pull through, another chain. Yarn over, pull through, another chain. So as I was saying, just keep on working on that chain. This is how mine is starting to look. I've been doing this for years, so my chains are, of course, are a little bit more even. Not as even as they usually are, because I'm trying to teach you how to do it here. But they should be starting to get nice and even as you learn how to do this. Trust me, don't worry about it at first. They won't be at first. And that's why I want you to just keep on making this chain. I don't care if it's 20 feet long. And if you need to unravel it and start over like I did, that's fine too. And just keep on making new chains. And this might take you days till you get your chains down and even, but don't move on to the next lesson and the next stitch until you have these chains nice and even, because this is your foundation, and this is the most important part to get even and correct before you move on to your next stitch, because like I said, your next stitch will be worked into the chain, and if it's not even, you're just going to cause yourself a bunch of frustration. And if you want to make yourself a nice, beautiful scarf or whatever it is we'll be making. Again, I'm going to pull up on my yarn over here and then go back over, put my yarn back over my 3 fingers, over my pointy finger, grab back onto my chain again and go back to what I was doing. Yarn over, pull through my chain, yarn over, pull through my chain, yarn over, pull through my chain, and just keep going. And just keep going. And that'll be it for our first lesson. You keep on working on your chain until you get it perfect, and then you can move on to our next lesson in video, where we will be working on single crochet. But make sure you get your chain nice and perfect before you do that, okay? Thank you all for watching this one, and have fun making your chain. See you later.